The United States government has shut down. They've entered day 3 of the funding shutdown that's become a political tool used by each side to throw blame on the other side. But don't worry, guys. ICE, operating rather like Trump's secret police nowadays, they are still funded and they can still do super valuable work for the US by nabbing people out of workplaces, off college campuses, and of course, off food delivery bikes if you can catch them. Undocumented immigrants got to go, man. Funding ICE must be maintained. Priorities. Now, here's what actually is happening. The Senate failed to pass a spending bill before the Yom Kippur holiday, a Jewish holiday, and now they won't vote again until Friday, until today. But reports suggest a Friday or even a weekend vote is unlikely. So the government shutdown is expected to last at least 5 days in total, maybe much more. Both Republican and Democratic bills, they each suggested their own, have failed to hit the crucial 60-vote threshold because senators keep voting along party lines. They're all keeping to their sides, leaving things in a deadlock. No bill gets passed. Now, some of you may be worried, Mahfouz, how will these senators feed their families if the government shutdown affects them and funding for federal staff and contractors is not available? They're obviously federal staff, these senators. So how are they going to, what their pockets are going to be empty, these senators. Don't worry. The senators have already thought of that years ago. Senators are still paid. They're full, upwards of $100,000 a year salary, even during funding delays and government shutdowns. So don't worry, guys. I know you're so... You guys are too good. You guys are too nice. Now, here's where it gets interesting, if it wasn't already. Republicans control 53 Senate seats versus Democrats controlling 45. That means neither side has 60 just by themselves. They need people from the other side to also vote with them. And it's become a game of chicken. Who's going to, blink first? Is that how games of chicken work? It's become a staring contest, and who is going to blink first is the question. Some Democrats are voting for the Republican bill now, fearing the shutdown's damage outweighs the political point they're trying to make and the fight, the policies they're trying to push. And here's arguably the most interesting component of this Senate deadlock. This has happened, the US government shutdowns have happened 10 times over the last 50 years of American political history. But this time, there's a new orange, a new commander-in-chief. President Trump is using this shutdown differently than past presidents, for better or worse. If you support him, you'll be quite happy with what he's doing. If you don't support him, you'll be quite upset. Instead of just furloughing workers, meaning workers are told to go home, you don't have a job because there's no funding to pay you, but you'll come back when funding starts again, and you might even be, if you're lucky, paid back pay for the time that you were furloughed. That's what being furloughed means. But Trump is different. He moves differently, right? He's meeting with Budget Director Russ Vought, who might lack votes after this fiasco. Russ Vought to potentially make permanent cuts to federal agencies. Just sack them, bruv. Just sack them. That's the Trump way. If they don't have a job, they don't need to be furloughed. This is big brain thinking. I'll give you a moment to process, what I've just said and catch up, because not everyone operates at the cognitive cadence of the leader of the free world. Moreover, more stuff that's being done by the Trump administration. The White House has already frozen $26 billion in programs targeting Democratic states specifically, like California in the far west and New York in the far east. So Trump's administration basically is using this opportunity to weaken Democratic straits? I think Straits of Taiwan? No. To weaken Democratic states, thereby strengthening the Trump administration and the Republicans' hand. All the while, they're trying to get the Democrats to fold on another thing completely, which is the Senate bill, the funding bill. So it's a very tough position, analytically speaking, for the Democrats to hold out in, because the longer they hold out, the Republicans are technically gaining ground. And Ernst & Young, EY, a famous British accounting firm, EY, you probably have seen their logos in places, they estimate each week of US government closure costs the economy a whopping $7 billion. Afghanistan called. They want their state bank funding back. $7 billion. Nobody's blinking yet. But the pressure is building and the money is most definitely on the line. Unfortunately, it's the poor who really can't afford it that will likely have to foot the bill because they won't be being paid. They might even lose their jobs, as you see. The question is, who will cave first, the Democrats or the Republicans who are currently in power? And the fact is, China is over in the east laughing its arse off. America is too busy punching itself, and the rising titan of Asia, I am sure, doesn't mind one bit. For the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm Mahfouz or NewsBaba, and I'll see you on the next one.